Monokilla is what we're going to call you for the rest of this review. I know you told me how to pronounce your name already, but I can't remember. Gregor sent me the code, so I'm going to try not hold that against you. And also, Gregor is also in this game, and I'm going to have to really, really try not hold this against you, probably unsuccessfully. The good news is, though, in a lot of these replay reviews, is that there's a lot of pressure because, you know, you're obviously the only one that we're looking at here. But I think that somebody in this review, I'm not naming any names, is going to be so bad at tank that it's going to be really easy to not feel too bad about yourself. But I think this is May all the way through. I freaking love May. I freaking love May in unorthodox situations as well. I completely disagree with Backbone that May is the psychopath character, because I think that a lot of what May can do in terms of like the flexibility of how you can position and self-sufficiency, it's a lot of fun. It's not a lot of fun. I don't enjoy the freeze mechanic. I don't enjoy choking people off. I just enjoy taking off angles and hit shots. And I think that like there's a lot of things that May can do really well, and I think that's one of the best things that she can do. So we'll take a look here. We're going to be looking at your positioning. We're going to be looking at your CD usage. And obviously little things like mechanics and cover usage as well. But let's take a look. So playing in the sniper matchup is really going to be about leveraging like the positions that you could take that other DPS can't. So if you think about like a Hanzo, you think about a Widowmaker, right? Like what makes those characters really good? Well, they're snipers. They're really good. They're going to win sniper duels. They can control long sight lines. And while that's to an extent true with you in certain circumstances, like, hey, you have an Icicle with 150 damage and headshots with no fall off. That's great. You really can't compete with a Widowmaker, at least not consistently. If she's distracted, if you ego her a little bit, which I definitely do occasionally, it can work, but it's always a risk, right? So your real strength, though, is, especially in a map like this, is the fact that because you have 250 HP, because you have Ice Block, because you have Wall, you're going to be able to take a lot of angles that other DPS won't be able to consistently take. You have the equivalent of a short-term wall climb, right? Because you can wall yourself up to here and take angles like these. But if you think about it this way, like let's say this fight breaks out in this choke here, you can legit hard flank here in a lot of situations where other poke DPS would not be able to, because what are they going to do? They're going to turn around and look at you. You're going to wall. You're going to back up. You're going to go hold off the angle, and then you're going to go right back on it. And if they push you, well, guess what? You have Ice Block, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you have like this weird hybrid of like self-sufficiency, little bit of mobility with your wall, poke damage, but also brawl damage. And it's like, it takes a lot of it doesn't just demand, it needs a lot of creativity to be able to kind of utilize what's most appropriate in each circumstance. So, you know, like here, it's like, whatever, it's fine, you know, you're just kind of sitting and chilling. But as this fight like actually breaks out, I'm going to want to see you making plays. And I think there's like a misperception, whatever, it works, of like, what does playmaking actually mean, right? And I think it's not about necessarily hitting shots. It's about having an idea of like, what position can I take that's unique to my character? So I ask you like right now, like what strengths of May are you playing to right now? Are you utilizing your self-sufficiency? Are you utilizing your poke damage effectively? Are you utilizing your wall effectively? And I think if you take a second, you'll realize the answer to all these is no. You know, you're standing in front of a Widowmaker sightline. You're not really hitting, you don't really have a good angle to spam here. You're not really threatening anybody with freeze, and you don't really have a good wall angle either. So then immediately you have to ask yourself, okay, so what's the alternative? Obviously, the answer with a Spilo question is always somewhere on the right or somewhere on the left, somewhere on the periphery. But really, I think the answer to this in terms of which side is totally open. Like you could legit hard flank up here, sit here, and poke by yourself here. And what would the Moira and Sigma do? They can't push you because you can wall them off or wall yourself off and then Ice Block, buy yourself time for your supports to get to you. You could wrap all the way around hard flank here. You could wall the Widow sightline off, walk up and push the Sigma. You could rotate this way and do what I said here, hard flank. Or you could wall off the Sigma from his Moira and walk on him with heal support and not even be scared of him whatsoever, right? Like Sigma's not scary as long as you don't, I mean, you can't even combo you because you have your Ice Block and you have 250 HP. This is a hideous skin. Like, can we just admire the fact that like how awful, like not even in a good hideous, like just, this is what Gregor looks like first thing in the morning. Actually, that's not being fair to him. This is what Gregor looks like at all times. So I just don't. I think it can be very easy to get lazy with Mei and just be like, oh, I'm just throwing icicles. And the poke is good, but ask yourself, could I be poking from a better angle? Right? Could I be poking from a more aggressive angle? And I think the answer here is yes. Like, this is just whatever, right? Yeah, here we go. I do think you have to wall that. No. You're better than that. You're better than that. See, this is wasted time. This is wasted time. Now, it does lend itself into a situation where we can get a wall, so that's good. So maybe we get something out of this. Good. Drop the wall. 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 Now take the angle. Love it. Thank you. Okay. Rotate. They've matched. Okay. I mean, it's not on an angle, but this is something that this is making a play. This is something that Mei does. This is something that is unique to Mei. So good. Wow, you got launched. Is that a junk line? What on earth? You got like absolute. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, that's crazy. Again, though, make a play. Thank you. So I think this is okay. I think like the last like 20 seconds even have been okay, but it's like one of those situations where it's like I think it took you too long to come to that conclusion. It took you too long to come up with an idea. You're too content to like even like right now be thinking, okay, I'm close to Blizzard. Widow's close. What can I do? All right. Oh dear. Don't. You're getting caught. You're getting caught in the AFK mode. Again, this is where you could even wall off the Widow and go up and push the Junkrat. Or you could rotate right, or as we talked about earlier, you could rotate left. This is where it's kind of like, you know, like obviously, oh, I could have hit some icicles there, and yeah. But like a lot of it is just like you will lose so many games because nothing happens. Not because you fed or you trolled, but because just you did not do anything to contribute to your team's success. And what DPS are supposed to do is they're supposed to pressure, right? Like you're supposed to threaten kills or apply the... okay, I was going to say threaten kills, but yeah, that's exactly right. Like you either get the kill or you threaten the kill, right? So when you're sitting here, the chances of a kill or the chances or forcing people to split their attention and look at you or look in three different directions, it's not happening. You're not applying significant pressure from this position. So when you make this rotation like you did on the flank, yeah, it didn't work, but there's at least pressure. The problem is that the start of these fights, it's taking you 10, 15, 20 seconds to actually set up a position with which you can do pressure. And I think the reason why this is so important for Mei is because it's so easy to just kind of check out, throw icicles down main, throw a wall in the enemy tank, and maybe take a flank at some point, right? But the problem with that is that like, you know, the average tank mirror isn't a brawl mirror in rank. It just doesn't happen. The vast majority of your games are going to be played versus, you know, Moira one-tricks and pharmacies and Genjis and tracers and Widowmakers and so on. So if you don't have, like, if you're not that you don't have, but if you're not pushing that creativity constantly, you're trolling. Like right now, like it's time to go. It's time to go. Like as soon as this thing you use, like this is wasted time. You need to go. Thank you. Go. I mean, this is just a silly mistake, but I'm just actually glad that we're actually... See, the funny thing is like, this is a really stupid mistake from you, right? I mean, it happens, right? I wish I could say that I haven't done the same thing, right? I mean, this is hilarious, right? I mean, this is worst case scenario, right? Like, this is like, just call mom. This is embarrassing, you know? But despite how stupid this is still like a lot of pressure. Junkrat's on you. Widow's on you. Mercy's pocketing you. The only thing that you should have done differently here is gone, oh crap, I messed up. My resources are down. So then ask yourself, what do I need to be doing now? Take a second. So you're going to go, oh, I need to back off. Okay, so then where do you back off to? Where do you back off to? I think there's two answers here. I think you could either go up the stairs, which is actually ironically a little bit more risky because it's a more open sightline. I actually think you would have been fine just to rotate into their spawn. Not even joking. Something to consider. I mean, it's a crazy shot, but my concern is actually not so much about the Widow there. It's the Junkrat coming back out of the wall. And I don't think you had a solution for that at all. Okay. Make a play. Make a play. Good. Make a play. Thank you. A little sloppy with the ammo control here. So, one thing to keep in mind when you're going into a blizzard is you really, really want to have at least a little bit of ammo here, because these headshots need to land. Like those headshots need to land, right? So, how is Gregor dying? How? This guy, there's just no way this guy is human. Wait, what? Okay, so first off, he walks into a trap, so that's just great. He has full shield. He just ignores the Widow and the Junkrat? He somehow hits a rock. He shields the Frozen Sigma. I'm too sick for this. Oh my god, this guy's so bad at this game. Thankfully, you carry this, right? Oh, maybe. At least you're making plays. Like at least you're making plays. Nice, nicely done. Well, thank you for doing something. Okay, make a play. Make more plays. See, here, I would already be thinking, okay, so I'm off cart now because my Ana's taking it. Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? Where can I go? What can I do? I am fairly certain that you can, yeah, you can. You can wall up over here and drop up to this high ground. This is a really good angle because it's a small room, which means it's very difficult for them to push you out. Obviously, Junkrat may be a little bit of a problem. But also because you have 250 HP and you have ice wall, ice block, so on. You could do a lot of stuff from this position, right? You could hard flank and hold an angle in here. You could hard flank and snake up the backline. You could flank all the way to here in case they contest early. But this is kind of like where your creativity is checked out. And I just don't think this is an option in Overwatch 2 anymore. I don't think that you can be just kind of brain off. And like, especially like when you look at like this is a pharmacy, right? Like I know everyone likes to have a little bit of ego with their icicles. I know that I do. But like, let's be honest here. Like it's the exception to the rule that you're going to be able to actually snipe this person out of the sky. Like she would have to actually misplay, right? And in the meantime, you've not controlled any space. You've not really applied any pressure. I mean, I guarantee this Pharah's not even thinking about you, right? She's thinking more about your Ana, she's thinking more about your Genji. You're just there, right? And that's it, right? So you're either a non-factor or you're dead versus this kind of a composition. This guy goes Wrecking Ball. That's just great. Make a play. Make a play. Make a play. Take an angle. Thank you. Thank you. You could even touch cart here. So this is another thing you could do. I mean, you could even make a play by just walling this off and touching cart. Again, utilize your self-sufficiency here, right? You can wall off. The Moira pushes you. You walk towards the Mega. You grab the Mega. You ice block as necessary. Just create some chaos here, right? You're too in the middle, right? So when we talk about making plays, you can even go back to when we were talking on here, right? It's talking about like attacking from here or from here or from here. You really don't want to put yourself in the middle of things, right? Like you even think about like when the Junkrat sent you flying here. Remember that? You had a wall and tank and you went and you shot the tank. I get it. Makes total sense, understandable. But even that, there's risk with Mei. Ironically, the most dangerous spot for Mei to be is usually in the range where most people, not the range, but in the position where most people think that she should be played, which is right in the middle of the enemy team, right? That's not, that in those positions, 50 extra HP isn't enough. As you kind of see here, right? 50 extra HP on an angle, we can actually see your threat. That matters a lot more. But when you're in the middle of a lot of enemies, you didn't need not even see the Junkrat coming. Imagine if this exact same play, but you'd actually rotated faster, right? And kept your head facing enemies and your back to the wall, right? You don't want to put yourself in the middle of people. That is never, ever, ever, ever something you want to do when you're making plays. And by the way, a lot of these things also apply to Hanzo as well, which, if I remember correctly, you play a little bit of Hanzo too. So remember you terrorizing the pugs. So this is fine. Go get her. Like this is again another playmaker. Why should you just let her walk away? You're Mei. You got a wall. You can just wall up here, right? Go get her. I don't know why I made that noise. She's dead, you know? Or just go up while this guy, push him, right? Now that one's a little bit more risky because you got to walk in melee range in the tank, but it is a Sigma. That's not a tank that you do badly versus. Good. Good. Turn on him. Get him. Make a play. Thank you. Go get the cast. I don't like it because you didn't have a target in mind. Cassidy was incidental. Would have been fine if you'd gone for the Cassidy, but Cassidy was just an accident. Always have one target in mind when you go for with Blizzard. One target. Tank, DPS, support, doesn't matter. Pick a target. Take space, make a play. Take space, make a play. Especially that you guys are kind of inting here. Yeah, this is good. This is going to be a great playmaking position. You're going to be able to have a lot of things to do from here. Now, if they're on a Widowmaker, you'd have to be a little bit cautious with peeking the sightline. But you also being here would mean that the Widowmaker wouldn't be able to take it away from you. So, there's upsides and downsides. Like you can even look at this here and be like, okay, goodness gracious. I think you're just a little bit slow to react. This Junkrat has caught you with your pants down too many times, I think. That one was not you were in the middle of the enemy team, poorly positioned. You just didn't react. Same thing out of the trap earlier. Tick top, tick top, tick top, tick top, tick top. Because remember, you go top, this is not scary for you. You have 250 HP, ice block, ice wall, and so on. Do it. Do it. Make a play. Make a play. Make a play. Don't sit here. Do you see? Because you're waiting, but I don't know what you're waiting for. Like, what are you waiting for? You as a DPS player, you are a tank. Your job is to make space. You are not making any space right now. If you hit shots, you'd be making some space. But you're not hitting shots. And the way to think about DPS is that if the only way that you're making space is if you're hitting shots, you're probably mispositioned. That's not a hard rule, but it's a good way of thinking about it. Where like, if you're up here and you're missing shots, you're still making space because everybody's freaking out, right? Moira and Kiriko probably backing up. Kiriko will probably wall climb. They probably throw a damage orb at you. Cassidy probably panics and throws his mag grenade up straight in the air. That's making space, right? So if you were reliant off of, if I'd only hit the shot, I would have made space, then that's a misposition. Even a Widowmaker that doesn't hit shots, but is positioned well, is generally a threat. Make a play. You see just how unimpactful this is? It's difficult. Get off the floor. Get off the floor. This is Overwatch 2. You got to make plays. So you're still waiting. Like, what are you waiting for, right? You see how sucky this is? You see how terrible this feels? Right? Not a single play was made. This one in particular had a lot to do with how you're positioned on different angles. So, okay, let's keep going here. So, I think like the Mei things are fine. But ironically, like probably the most important thing is something that I think that you're missing. I think that you're missing some of the playmaking, taking of angles. And I think the reason why that's so important is not just because that's like where the ceiling of Mei really is, but you need to start practicing that sooner rather than later, because things like, especially Ice Wall really start to become a lot more dynamic once you start to push this playstyle, because you need to start practicing now. Because if you don't start taking high grounds and angles as Mei, you're not going to figure out how to use wall. Like, let me go back to this fight here. This is how you use wall in this circumstance. All right. So you're going to take this angle here. You're going to go up to here. You're going to shoot, you're going to shoot, you're going to shoot, you're going to shoot. You're going to shoot. What you're going to do is you're actually going to wall off this Cassidy from his backline, but you're not even going to be planning to drop and push him. You're just walling them to panic the Moira. So what Moira's going to do is she's going to fade. She's going to fade into this Cassidy, and you're going to sit there and throw icicles at him. And what that means is everybody's freaking panicking and keeping the Cassidy alive. And then you didn't even intend to go for the Cassidy. You actually just wall off the Cassidy, shoot him once, and you walk all the way around, and you go for the Junkrat that's now isolated, or you help your stupid ball on the Kiriko, right? Another thing you do here, Junkrat appears. You wall off in front. Oh no, he uses cooldowns. Then you drop wall. And then you decide, okay, how do I want to take this 1v1? Do I want to take this 1v1? Do I want to drop? Do I want to drop? I might want to drop. Maybe I want to drop. Maybe I want to wall myself back up to high ground again, right? So maybe I want to cross here, but the Junkrat or Cassidy are spamming me, or the Kiriko is spamming me. So I wall in front, I make the rotation with wall. So there's like a lot of things that wall can do to allow you to take positions that you otherwise wouldn't be able to do, or to win 1v1s, or to apply pressure, even if your intention isn't to like push off of the wall. Oh, this guy in Ramattra. As if there could be anything worse. See, even here, right? I was gonna say, they're not on a Widow. You don't have to be scared of any sightline right now, so you could do whatever you want. Now, I'd be careful about getting this close here because you don't have any support and he's not being pushed right now, so just hold the corner. Okay. Okay, so two things. First off, this play, in theory, is fine, but I would prefer if you did it from the actual corner itself and not beyond. So like be very, very disciplined here. The difference between this in safety between this position and this position is monumental. Literally twice as safe. Because you can drop, you can disengage, you can kite behind a corner. The time to kill is so much faster for them on you here. So be very careful. Other thing here, obviously, this type of aggressive play is super, super, super N. So you're going all the way in making a play, but because you pushed past the corner and because it was such an aggressive play by yourself, it doesn't work. I don't mind the by yourself, but you need to think more like a self-sufficient Soldier 76 on a flank where they hold a corner, hold the angle, be careful, be patient, and not just run all the way in. This is a run all the way in play. This is a run all the way in play. This is the I'm trying to make a play, but I'm just abusing cover, abusing by not using, or not abusing cover, I guess, and going into melee range onto an enemy team like instantly, right? Be more patient. Be more tactile, right? Think more like a tactician and less like a bruiser in these situations. Because that ends up costing you your life. Because I think again, like you are applying pressure. I'm thankful that this is like kind of like this is good, but we need to find an in between not making any plays, very passive, standing, and then we go on a flank, hard flank, be way beyond cover into melee range of the enemy tank and then die. That's kind of like the extremes here that you're struggling with. Because like the funny thing is that even here, it's like this is really not the time actually to make a play right now because you don't have either of your CDs. You're not even full HP, and again, you're still not really fully in cover. So this has been a fine situation to like back off, play here, get healed, and then go for a play through here, right? Or go for the exact same play, but now you actually have CDs and HP. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. May is like I appreciate the proactivity there. I don't appreciate how it was done. And then after it failed, I don't appreciate that you disrespected. Like you are a DPS hero that needs CDs to be able to do your plays. And if you don't have your CDs, you need to adjust accordingly. And you did not adjust accordingly. Again, this is where you can just wall, right? Just wall. Like just wall, just to prevent them from disengaging, to make that Moira panic, to make that Ana panic. Just wall. Just wall and shoot. You don't have to wall and drop. Wall and shoot. Wall. Use it. Use it. Right now is the perfect time. And even here, like you're very content to just kind of take and just kind of see what happens, right? But make a play here, right? So right now, this would actually be a great time here. So let's actually start this right now. So ignoring the wall here, let's say that you still have wall. Let's say, I mean you do, but like let's say that you didn't follow my advice, you didn't wall, you got slept, you got naded, unfortunate. Okay. You have your CDs. Be a tactician. How do you play this fight? What should you do? How do you make a play? I can think of like 3 or 4 different plays you could do from here. I want you to take a second and pause the video and just think of one. All right. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Let me give you a few. First thing first is wall it right now. Again, just wall. You use this opportunity to actually drop off the high ground to push the Sigma, but you're not really going to push the Sigma. You're actually going to walk up this high ground and control this off angle. So you're going to use your wall to split the tank and to allow you to rotate to this high ground. All right. Second thing you could do is you could actually let the Sigma back off and wall off in front of his entire team, Sigma included, and take this angle as well. Third thing you can do is you can actually rotate out this door here, wall off the backline from the tank from here, and shoot poke from here. Other thing you could do is not even use your wall at all and just poke. They jump at you, throw a damage orb. Junkrat tries to concuss a mine at you. Wall in front here to block the spam. Then drop wall like half a second later and continue to spam. The other thing you could do is I think you can. I don't think you can. But there might be a way to like look down the floor, wall up from here, and totally hard off angle from here. Basically do the opposite of what you do to go under that high ground, but to go from here. That would be something I would have to see. I think this ledge sticks out just enough to where it's possible, but I'm honestly not too sure. But again, this is kind of like where like you're on an angle, you're very self-sufficient, you have 250 HP. If you're ice block, do it, right? I promise you it's more pressure than this right here. This is just wait until something happens, right? And then, yeah, again, this guy's you gotta respect Junkrat. He's the best short range character in the game. I don't think you're giving Junkrat players enough respect. This guy's gotten you with the 2 taps way too often. So might just be a bad matchup for you. It happens. My bad matchup is almost always Hanzo, where I like really disrespect Hanzo's ability to hit shots, and so for you maybe it's Junkrat. Okay, good. Don't be such a chicken here. Don't be such a chicken here. Get up here and hold the single. Hold this corner. It's the only other thing you gotta worry about is the Junkrat. I just want to take a look and laugh at this guy. This guy's looking at the ground to shield, even though he's literally 3 seconds until he has shield again. Like, how do you have that little self... this guy's the worst. Good. No. You earned it. Like, this is, again, a situation where, like, okay, maybe you're changing your angle here. Like, I like that too. But I'm still wondering, like, hey, can I just ego this a little bit? Yes, you can. Like, this is also, remember, the idea of pressure is, like, even if the shots are harder to hit, the angle itself is so powerful that you don't even necessarily need to hit all the shots for it to still be good pressure, right? You see this? The threat of being here is monstrous, and they don't really have the tools to deal with you. The Junkrat will have to throw himself at you. Certain will have to use Disruptor Shot, maybe Damage Orb, Sigma Spam. That's going to be doing more than you rotating back this direction, right? Those are some nice shots. But those shots could have also landed from the other angle with a lot less downtime, right? It's even here. Why are you waiting? Rotate. I don't care about Riptire. You're freaking May. Wait, what happened to this Junkrat tire? There's no way this guy's a real human being. Okay, so you see, Junkrat players are idiots too. So, but I mean, yeah, make a play, right? You're waiting. You could again here just wall and rotate. I mean, you have almost literally been AFK the last 15, 20 seconds. And I know you're waiting for Blizzard here, but then even that, you don't even go for it. Okay. I really think that you're missing the opportunity to go on an angle like this. I think this is something you could even, I mean, especially when you're stacking with Gregor, like you could take this angle. Especially now that they're on Widowmaker, like they are wide open to being flanked. This whole like AFK and then surprising them here. If you're gonna do that, there's much better angles to do it from. Go get her. Sure. Good. Okay. A little bit of mystery heroes with their hit scan. I think they're hiding for Blizzard, but it's really costing you the ability to do anything in these fights. Like this fight is... And if you're going to be hiding and waiting to go for a play like this, it's like playing this big surprise party and inviting one person. It's like, you know, if you're going to go for something this risky to where you're literally AFK in the fight, you might as well hide like up here, you know, or like here, you know, and then surprise them where you can actually guarantee to kill, you know, because you're not even guaranteed a kill here. Even that was risky, right? All right, now surely we make a play here. Nice shot. Oh no. I'm not as much of a fan. Not as much of a fan of this one. Too much AFK time. Too much AFK time in these early phases. I mean, the fight's starting and you're quite literally AFK. So I think this is where, like, again, like, okay, they're rotating this way. Maybe I meet up here. Maybe I rotate out this way. Ooh. Let them walk out, then wall. Let them walk out, then wall. That way that you don't have to walk into them. They walk into you. Because the problem is who can shoot inside here besides you, right? I guess Gregor's kind of fighting in here. A little bit slow with the ice block. But you guys do win. Okay. Congrats on the win. I think big thing with you is playmaking, taking angles, playmaking, taking angles, abusing your self-sufficiency, being creative with your wall, being creative with your ice block and the angles that you take. Absolutely the most important thing you could be doing with Mei in Overwatch 2. And then I guess in terms of just like details here, I think being one target with Blizzard is a priority. And then I think also just like the number of times that you died with ice block up this versus the Junkrat specifically was a little tough. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, if you have any questions, message me. If you need help because Gregor's idiocy is driving you off the deep end, let me know. We can maybe set up a support group. I think all the Patreons will be very interested in joining.